Hello everyone, Nerdy Film Guy here, and welcome to my after party where I show you some really cool editing tips and tricks. Today I'm going to show you how to take this shot and go from this and color it to that, all inside of Premiere Pro and nothing else. So let's jump right in. Okay, right here inside of Premiere, you want to first import your clip. Double click over there, go with complete eyes. And if you want to see the episode on how we track the eyes and everything, go ahead and click this button up in here and you can check that out. Okay, drag your clip down to your timeline. Okay, and now everything's in there. Okay, there we go. Okay, go ahead and click on your clip, click color. I normally use two monitors, but so you guys can see everything, I put it right there all on one. Let's go ahead and, that just looks weird. Okay, all right, first things first, you want to balance your colors, and you do that by doing something very simple. You want to make sure your darks are right down here touching the 0 line but not below. You don't want to crush them. And you want to make sure your highlights are up here touching the 100 line but not above them. So between the 0 and 100 you have your broadcast safe zones for those people who like that kind of stuff. And it just looks the most pleasing to the eye and your image is going to look great. So all we have to do is just start down here. I'm going to take this one. Now for this look, I know I'm going for a very high contrast. So I'm going to show you what I normally do for that. So we have that there. Let's boost the saturation just a bit. Say about right there. And that is pretty decent, I would say. Okay, so that's before and that's after. And that's just basically color balancing the shot or balancing the color. Okay, now when I start color grading, this is what I normally do. First things first, I need to add an adjustment layer. So go back to editing, right click, right here on project, right click, new item, adjustment layer. Click OK. Take your adjustment layer, drag it on top of that one. I always like to, when I color correct or color balance anything, I always like to color balance the actual clip itself and then color grade the clip. Some people just they color grade the adjustment layer. Some people just do everything on multiple adjustment layers, which is fine, but this is just the way I do it. So click on the adjustment layer, click color, and now we can actually grade and push this thing to the extreme max if we want to. So that's what we are going to do. Imagery scopes, go back over to curves, and let's really give it some contrast here. Let's drop this down to about like that. Something I like to do here is highlight some of these, but get rid of all the colors. Ooh, no. Okay, that looks pretty cool. So that would be my first layer right there. And guess what? We are going to do it again. Go back to editing, another adjustment layer, drag that one on top. Boom. And do this one. Now for this actual web series right here from this shot is from, this is going on inside of a dream world. So to make that dream look, what I normally do is very simple. On a brand new adjustment layer, I go over here in one of my saved effects and I add a Gaussian blur. All you have to do is just type that in up here if you don't have it, but I already have it saved here. Type that in, grab it, drop it, go back to editing. Over in effect controls, right here on the Gaussian blur, let's go ahead and give it some serious blur there. I'd say about, I normally use 50, it's pretty good, and it looks all crazy, I know, but it's okay. Okay, on that same layer, since we're on adjustment layer, you have your Gaussian blur at 50, then you go to opacity and start dropping it down. If you drop all the way down to 0, you see it's back at the regular clip. But this is what gives you that hazy dream look. So just by dropping the opacity on that Gaussian blur layer, you can give it some haze. %, looks good. Let's go a little bit higher. Let's go to about 40. Let's say 40. Okay, so let's basically review what happened here. The first thing we did was on the clip layer, we balanced the color. Basically, we just brought it to life and you want to balance your color. Before you do any color grading at all, you always want to color balance. And that's basically making sure your image is exposed properly and your colors are at a nice saturated level. So that's what we did first. We did that on the clip level. Second, we added the first adjustment layer, and we really stylized it by boosting that contrast. I wanted to make it really hard, so we boosted that on up. That was the second layer. And then finally, I want to add the dream look, so we did that on the third adjustment layer, and we added a Gaussian blur right here. And what we did was we added about 50% of that, about 50. And then on that layer, we dropped it down from 100% to 40. And that's what gave us that haze look that's around everything. That hazy look. And that is basically it on how I did that. And if you want to take it just one step further, I'll show you exactly how to do that. Let's go ahead and add another adjustment layer. Just drag and drop on top. Let's move this down so we're not really working with audio. Housekeeping. Keep everything nice and neat. On this final one up here, click that one, go to color, and we could really play with, let's go with color wheels, and can really play with the world itself. Let's say if you want to make it look kind of like a dreamy world they're in, you can do that. And to tell you the truth, you want to take this layer, actually put your blur layer above that layer, so the Gaussian blur is on top of it, so it also has that same haze. And I just like to do that just for me, but you know, but you really can change how you want the world to look. Let's say if you wanted to be like a dreamy kind of world, or let's say since he's evil, make it look kind of hot or whatever. And you can do all kinds of things like that, but that's just an optional level. Alright guys, that's it for this one, and that's how we go from this look all the way up to this one by adding layers and doing it all inside of Adobe Premiere. Alright, so that's it. Okay. Alright guys, thanks a lot for coming to this after party, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see how I did the visual effects, click this video right here, and it'll take you step by step on how to track the fingers and eyes in After Effects and Mocha AE. And if you want to see how we made the skit or see what the hell it actually is, click this button down here and enjoy that. Again, thanks guys, and until next time, I'll see you later.